I really hope you dumb idiots know what the fuck I'm referencing. Okay?
Alright, I might as well rearrange my phone here a little.
Yeah. So you're barely gonna see my face. Sad, boo fucking who, get over it. Alright. So if you see here, God, hopefully this doesn't blind you guys, but it's definitely blinding everything else. So, if you folks cannot tell by my happy mood, I actually liked it. They made a Fantastic Four movie that's not shit! Wait. Okay, I'll stop it. I wanted to do a glow stick so bad, but then I'm like, okay, nah. I need another stick-like object to mock Pedro Pascal, but I chose a lightsaber instead. I think, given the age of this thing, I think this is probably the first one I had. I don't know why, but the green one I own, the hilt is a little chunkier. I don't know why. So you read the title, spoilers, and I finally, okay, let's move Psycho Man here a second. Alright, y'all can see his face now. Let's hope he doesn't, because this figure's fucking shit. The feet at least, but... Alright, so again, I told you, you're barely gonna see my face, and again, that's kind of the magic of YouTube, not knowing what the fuck I look like, but hey, I'm right here. I'm like Galactus, lurking in the back. So, okay, so the movie starts off with a pregnancy test. So, yeah, we had the idea that Sue pissed on a stick, whatever. Reed is looking for some himmer jibber, I don't know, so they say they spent 2 years making the thing, not making the thing. They spent 2 years trying to have a kid. So I'm like, okay, if they spent 2 years, we'll get to Herbie in a bit. How does you-know-what work between Reed and Sue? Nah, I'll get demonetized. I'm not going forward with that question, but... Woo! Don't worry, I'll be peeking to see some of y'all's comments. Woo! So then we head to a montage, alright, Ted Gilbert, and apparently the actor was a Doctor Who at one point, and so he gives a montage, because the Fantastic Four were around for 4 years. So this is kind of an origin movie, kinda not, So this is like the main highlight for me as a comic fan myself, as a fan of the FF comics. All right. There's a lot of name drops to villains, even though they don't appear in this movie. So they name drop. Like, if you're a fan of the comics, I think you're going to be excited on who they name drop. They name drop Mad Thinker. They name drop Diablo. They name drop Wizard. Wizard is my favorite out of all those guys, but my favorite outside of Wizard is Red Ghost, who was supposed to be in this movie, by the way, but I don't know, was cut because he was apparently useless, even though his scene was so good. Matt Shackman was using this language. You know who else was fucking useless in this movie? Mole Man. Admittedly, they treated Mole Man a lot better than how I thought they were going to treat him, because I thought he was going to be like, because the way they worded him on the premiere, he was going to be like a good guy. It's like, hey, Fantastic Four, my old friends! And also the prequel comic, that also got me concerned. I fucking hated that idea. But he's treated a lot better here. He's still a dick, but he's still got the hots for Sue, Except also they got a they got a tunnel with a traffic sign that says "Welcome to Subterranea." Is that still there? Was that always there? My question, since it's a nation, quote unquote, do you have to have a passport just to go down to Harriet Tubman's club or something? And more importantly, how low underground is Subterranea? I can see that the gimmick I'm doing in this stream is working quite well. Don't worry, I'm gonna add a I'm gonna add a thumbnail here when I'm done with this shit. So yeah, Mole Man is treated a lot better than this movie. I felt like Paul Walter Hauser for the 5 fucking minutes he was on screen. I think he was fine. I hope they make him the villain of the next movie. And realistically, because you kind of already did Galactus in Rise of the Silver Surfer, you know, you should have just made Mole Man the villain. I get it, smart ass in the comments. You're gonna say, but they meant today was the first villain. I know. I don't give a flying fuck. And they also had like some bulldozer vehicles, which reminded me of the Underminer from The Incredibles. Which Mole Man is clearly the main inspiration behind the Underminer, but so yeah, Mole Man is treated a lot better. He actually serves a purpose, and he's not a good guy. All right, I kind of hope, like in the sequel, he's either A, the main villain, or B, he's you know, still like a background villain, like still an asshole. You know, like just. We'll probably never get an accurate Mole Man for like the next 20 years, unfortunately, so everyone I know and love is going to be dead by the time we get that. Alright. So now on to the main plot. So, of course, Galactus is coming. You're adapting some of the greatest comics ever. That is the Coming of Galactus trilogy. I call it the trilogy because it's 3 issues in 1 story. And, sorry to be a Debbie Downer, but Female Silver Surfer still ruins the fucking movie for me. Alright? Mostly because... Well, first off, I gotta mention something real quick, because it's kind of a... I don't know how to, like, lead up to... Mostly because... Well, first of all, a lot of her lines in this movie would have been a lot more intimidating, like, I herald is beginning... I herald your end. She sounds nothing like that, I'm sorry, but it would have been a lot more intimidating if it was said by a dude. Alright, you could turn Silver Surfer into Norrin Radd in this movie, and it wouldn't change a thing. The only thing it would change, I think, is, you know, the relationship, alright, Johnny has with Silver Surfer. Like, throughout the movie, he's sipping for her, which I'll admit was pretty funny. Okay, fine, I'll give, like, at least 3 credits to her. I love her theme song. Alright, her theme song was absolutely gorgeous. I think the choice of hair is fine. Like, I wasn't expecting that for Female Silver Surfer. But my third and my best flaw is that, you know, she's got, let's say she's a nice triple B. Alright, you're gonna have to think about the triple B. But, but yeah, so yeah. Female Silver Surfer is the main flaw of the movie for me. Mostly because you could turn... Mostly because, well, Silver Surfer is a fucking man. And you could turn, you know... like I said, you can make Silver Surfer Norrin Radd in this movie and you wouldn't change a thing. Alright, so Shala Bal has a big redemption arc. Alright? Just like Norrin Radd in the fucking comics. So her in this movie, alright? The whole Herald bullshit and stuff like that, like, that's all supposed to be Norrin Radd. Alright, sacrificing herself to save Zenla, that's supposed to be Norrin Radd. Alright, and that backstory scene, alright, it pissed me the fuck off, because it's like, hey, Norrin Radd is not in this movie at all. He's not even mentioned, he's not even name dropped, he's not even shown. Maybe Female Silver Surfer could have been fixed on 3 occasions, alright? And they all have to deal with Norrin Radd, the Silver Surfer, alright? Alright. 1, yeah, sorry if, man, my foot is just touching the drawer right here, if the camera wobbled, because I just noticed that. 1, they both sacrificed themselves together, alright? They love each other so much, they wanted to do it, and, Norrin Radd is out there somewhere. 2, alright, Norrin Radd already rebelled against Galactus on another planet, and so Galactus being Galactus, we'll get to him after this conversation. Alright, he went after Shala Bal. Or 3, alright, oh my god, I can't believe I already forgot my 3rd suggestion. I'm sure it'll come to me. But yeah, Female Silver Surfer ruins the movie for me, because her arc in this movie is meant to be Norrin Radd's. Alright, and there's so many things from the... I'm not saying comic book adaptations have to be shot-for-shot adaptations, but there's still stuff that you could have put in. Like, you could have put in the Ultimate Nullifier, instead of, like, teleporting the entire Earth. I'm not saying that's a terrible idea, but again, you're adapting Galactus' first appearance, so I think the Ultimate Nullifier would have been interesting. Like, so you already established that the public already has distrust for the Fantastic Four, alright? Because it was either the kid or the Earth. And, like, you could have had Reed invent the Ultimate... Sorry for that noise. You could have had Reed invent the Ultimate Nullifier, for the sake of, it's like, you know, the public already hates us. You know, you want our son so bad, we're all probably gonna have to die. Alright? Like, I think that would have been awesome. And also, Alicia's not in this movie at all. In the comics, it was Alicia Masters who shows Silver Surfer why, you know, life is worth living and why you should break free from Galactus. You know. But again, aside from the romance, which there is no romance in this movie, alright? And I'm glad, because I don't like this whole shipping bullshit. I don't like the relationship with the gender swap. They tried doing that in Mortal Kombat 1 with Noob Saibot and Female Sector, alright? You know, Silver Surfer could be Norrin Radd, and, you know, it'll be the same movie, and it'd probably be a 10 times better movie, to be honest. But yeah, so I fucking hated that idea. You know, I definitely heard teases that Galactus is coming back, even when Ralph Ineson was cast. I don't think she's for sure going to return if Galactus is going to return, but man, I hope she does not return. I hope she's not the Silver Surfer. And trust me, all these same dumb motherfuckers who like to use the multiverse excuse, alright, if Shalabal is the Silver Surfer, which I don't think is going to be the case, alright, they're going to defend it to hell and back as much as they did this casting decision. Alright, let me mock all the counterpoints, because I can't stand these motherfuckers, these comic book, you know, illiterates. So, there's a female Silver Surfer in the comics, Shalabal was Silver Surfer in the comics. Once, okay? Norrin Radd, as the Silver Surfer, appeared in 700 comic books, okay? You're a sexist fascist! You know, folks, only you know your motivation. Don't let that get you down, alright? You know sexism is bad, you know that's not your motivation, just do whatever you want. If you are an actual sexist, I think you're a piece of shit, but, you know, you're not worth my time. But, so are these same motherfuckers. But, one more thing. It's a multiverse movie. You're adapting the redemption of the Silver Surfer and the coming of Galactus. Don't give me that multiverse bullshit. You can have Norrin Radd, because clearly they're keeping this universe, which I think that's a great idea. And you have authentic versions of all the characters, like authentic Mole Man, authentic, oh boy, I already just mentioned them earlier. Authentic everyone, authentic Red Ghosts, but nope, we can't have an authentic Silver Surfer. But Galactus will... No, I don't want to hear your fucking voices ever again, alright? I hope you never read a comic in your life, because you're not true comic fans. Oh, wait, let me hear something. You're not a real comic fan if you don't know about Female Silver Surfer. No, that shows how much of a comic fan you are, because again, Silver Surfer's been a dude in absolutely fucking everything, and Silver Surfer's been a girl like once or twice. And I'm talking about series, not issues. So in total issues, Silver Surfer's been a female for like 9 fucking obscure issues. So I hope to never hear from your asses again. You only like this change because Silver Surfer's a woman now, and, you know, you're all for identity politics. Alright. Now get the fuck out of my life. But Galactus right here. Actually, every time I talk about Galactus, I'm gonna light him up. So light him up, light him up. I'm gonna have to rewatch the stream. I really hope it's not shining in y'all's eyes, because if it is, well, sucks to be you, because I'm leaving it on. So Galactus was really good. I kind of wish we had more of him, but he looks great, alright? He looks comic accurate. I love the details on his skin, like the nose and the mouth, like they're all liney and stuff like that. Like, I like that. And, like, especially when Ralph Ineson talks, which, a little bit of a nitpick, he does talk in this movie, but he doesn't talk that much when he's on Earth. But when he does talk on Earth, that's when he's at his best. And since Ralph Ineson was in a Harry Potter movie, I honestly think if Alan Rickman was still alive, he also would have been a perfect Galactus. Hans Gruber and Snape as Galactus, you know, I'm down. I'm down for that. And, so yeah, they do address his origin in the comics, which is, you know, he's from a universe that predates our universe, the Big Crunch, because scientists do a lot of weed and suddenly they're smart. But yeah, he was really good. If they dedicate an entire saga based on Galactus, all right, he'd be as good as Thanos. All right, that's why I think he'd be a good big bad, because he eats planets. All right. So yeah, Ralph Ineson right here, pretty good, and I think he's gonna come back. If Female Silver Surfer comes back, I'm throwing this lightsaber, which I pretend was the glow stick Pedro Pascal used. I'm not actually licking it, don't worry. And I'm gonna throw it at every TV in my house. I'm a nerd! I'm joking! We're all gonna die soon and there's no sequel. Okay? Okay. Alright, cool. So I think I should probably rank all the actors now. Pedro Pascal is a good actor. I'm not denying that. He's not Reed Richards. He does not look like Reed Richards. And he's a weirdo in real life. Why do we have to have celebrity gossip on fucking Fantastic Four? Ugh. Honestly, I expected that with Thunderbolts, but... But yeah, overall, he does a good job on the role, and he clearly is the main character of this movie. Like, he's clearly the leader, so I don't know what the fuck the executives were talking about. And, yeah. Sue, on the other hand, Vanessa Kirby was good. She does a good job in the acting department. She clearly is one of the two that defeats Galactus, but in context of the movie, and if you actually see the movie, it's not as bad as it sounds, alright? It's not just, girls get it done. Alright, the boys help, but it's like, come on, Reed has elastic powers. You can make him go all elastic, all in on the stretching. Alright, stretch your face to the point where you're a Jack Stopper character. Alright, so you can help push Galactus into the portal, and like, you know, hope. But I will say this, what else made Galactus really good was, you know, the fact that he didn't mind being on fire, alright? So, in one scene in the movie, alright, well, first off, he was vulnerable when Johnny burned his eyes, but he was not vulnerable when Johnny burned a good portion of his body. He's like, okay. Like, that was good. That shows that he's a threat. That shows that nothing much can hurt him. But yeah, I think maybe Sue being the one who kind of defeats Galactus would have been saved if, you know, like Galactus at least one or two more times, because he does once, breaks through the force field, but Sue gives it all her might. And I actually think, and yeah, the part where Franklin revives Sue, that was leaked. And I think that was actually done a lot good. Like, the baby doesn't put his hands in like, oh, abracadabra, and then Sue's back. But no, the baby just semi-crawls on her, and then she's back. So basically a touch, no magic effects or something like that, and then she's back. You know, like, I think that was, I actually liked that. You know, I thought it was well done. But yeah, so people like Nerdrotic were comparing Silver Surfer taking Johnny out of the way to Rose Tico, which that kind of is the case. Again, I would have been fine with it if it was Norrin Rad, because Norrin Rad's been a thing for like decades. Like 60 years. I almost said 90 years for some reason, but seriously, Silver Surfer is one of my all-time favorite comic characters, and you just decided to skaboosh him out of the movie. Alright, not even fucking mention him, but still. So, it's kind of a girls get it done, but it's handled a lot better. Alright. So, what else? What else? So there's one scene in the movie where Johnny sucks up all the fire, which leads us into my next point. I do not like that. I know it's just one scene, but I do not like that. It just makes him too OP, in my opinion. Alright, I'm fine with him blasting supernova, but not sucking up fire. I do not like that. But, what else? There is cameos of the actors from the Roger Corman movie in this one. I did not catch Jay Underwood or Rebecca Stabb or Stabe. I don't know how her last name's spelled. But I did see Alex Hyde White, who's a news broadcaster, and Michael Bailey Smith, who was a firefighter. All right, so keep your eyes peeled for the other two. Maybe it's because their looks are more easy to recognize. But yeah, it's very cool. And you know what I think? I think that movie is finally getting released officially. From what I heard, apparently the movie we all know, the bootlegged movie that's been around for 30 years, apparently that's not the finished version of the movie. So maybe we might get the actual finished version, but I wouldn't hold your breath on it. All right, I would not. I would not hold your breath on a what was supposed to be Roger Corman's Fantastic Four. And since that Roger Corman died and Ian Trigger, who played the jeweler, died, I think it's the perfect time than ever to actually release the movie. So yeah. It's been 30 years. Holy shit. They didn't, think of getting the rights to it. So let's talk about the 60s setting. And yeah, I like the 60s setting. It's retro-futuristic. It's like Tomorrowland at Disneyland, which the Fantastic Four are in right now. And it's like the Jetsons. It's not a thing in the comics. It's only a thing here, which I do like. That's a good addition. I'd say my only nitpick is that it's a very diverse 60s. All right. It's like there's a handful of Asians. I want to say this without sounding racist, because that's not my intention, but there's also a scene with two lesbians in Times Square when Silver Bikini is making her own fucking speech. God, I want to get rid of the name Silver Bikini, but I can't. I can't. This is my big redemption arc. I'm keeping Silver Bikini. Yeah, and I wanted them to. I wanted the Fantastic Four to turn over to the lesbians that were in Times Square, and then they say, "This is all your fault." That'd be funny, but okay. Holy crap, I forgot to rank all the other actors, but I'll do it in a sec. But I will give it this, though. I'd rather have a historically inaccurate racial representation than seeing a lot of characters I love from the comics get swapped. Alright? I'd rather see that. To be as completely fair as possible. So yeah. And also one more thing about Vanessa Kirby as Sue. I like that speech she gave. She's like she gave the speech as to why she named Franklin, because Franklin's named after their dad. Alright, in the comics, spoiler alert, their dad dies. After a fight with the Skrulls, who are not in this movie, by the way. And, speaking of the villains, alright, I'm gonna cock block on the actors one more time. Let's just get you out of the way. Galactor. But I still want to hide my face, so... How's Psycho Man doing? Yeah, he's actually doing much better. So, okay, I want to talk about the villains real quick, because I'm actually a fan of the Fantastic Four. So they do mention Mad Thinker. So in the comics, Mad Thinker goes, in 1.00000.55 seconds, Undead Nerd is going to turn on a little secret about Herbie right now. So yeah, he's very good at stats. He can predict the future. He's actually kind of cool. I don't know. This is kind of cute doing this. All right, turn on the light. How do I turn on this light again? Is it this? Oh, shaking. Oh, no. And then they mentioned Red Ghost, which, again, they cut John Malkovich out of this movie. Like I said earlier, Mole Man was as useless as John Malkovich. And apparently they did cut some stuff from Mole Man. Probably because they knew Good Guy Mole Man was a bullshit idea. So yeah, if you just take what he's in the movie, it's not Good Guy Mole Man. Okay? So... I'm still looking for the damn thing. Gonna be this little hole right here. That's the straw. It's kind of adorable, I'm not gonna lie. like him just sitting in my lap. But it's like, it's cool that you included some of the monkeys. But again, I think we're gonna get an extended cut because there's a lot of more people, you know, not happy with the decision to cut Red Ghost than I thought. And then there's, of course, mentions to other characters. So there's mentions to Puppet Master, who's the godfather of Alicia Masters, who's not in this movie, by the way. I think she would have been perfect in this movie, because, again, she's the reason Norrin Rad turns back good. Well, not good, but rebels from Galactus. Yeah, you're right, Herbie. And then there's a reference to Wizard. All right, Wizard's a cool character in the comics. He's like Megamind, but that's more of a helmet, and he has these anti-gravity discs, and and he can fly. He's the master of anti-gravity. And they said Crime Syndicate, so are they setting up the Frightful Four? Trapster? Medusa? Sandman. Believe it or not, Sandman is equally a Fantastic Four villain as he is a Spider-Man villain. And I like him better as a Fantastic Four villain because, Herbie's telling me to shut up. I'm not shutting up, you stupid fucking robot! Because he plays off of everyone's powers so good. Like, you know, he's got the elasticness of Reed, he's got the element of Johnny, and he's like rock and mineral like Ben, and maybe he fades away, so he disappears like Sue, so yeah. And, so yeah, I would love to see them set up the Frightful Four. And Diablo, they say Diablo's in this movie. He's got a sexy helmet and, like, similar to Galactor over here. Wait a second. Yeah, this cup's pretty cool. I got it at Fan Expo. Yeah, I've been wanting to do a stream talking about my experience at Fan Expo. It came in on a Galactus lunchbox, which I already have a short posted here on this channel. So yeah, I kind of hope, but the references to all the villains is also kind of the downside, because, like, are they going to be in a sequel? Like, are you going to cast actors? Like, are you going to dedicate a different movie to each villain? You know, like, are you just going to skip them in favor of someone like Annihilus or something? And don't get me wrong, the comic where they first fight Annihilus is really good. Fun fact, that was also the comic where Sue first gave birth to Franklin. But I want to see all these other villains, which you establish are real, you know? It's like, you of course could do like a few second fight scene, but hey. Huh, Herbie's actually agreeing with me. I'll find it. So yeah, so now, as for the other two actors, that being Joseph Quinn and Eben Moss Barack Obama, I called him that in my Fox Marvel movie ranking. Joseph Quinn was really good, alright? He's a hothead, he's a ladies' man. They definitely cut out the scene where the girls are squealing saying, "I love you, Jenny!" They cut that out for some reason, but he is sipping for Sue the whole time, and he's like, Johnny loves women, so let's see the temper tantrums that come out of that scene. And Evan was really good. Like, the Thing looks like the Thing. I love the eyebrow. I did not like the beard. The beard was lame. Alright. I didn't mention it to my parents on the car ride home. But yeah, I fucking hated the beard. But the beard was in the comics! Just like Female Silver Surfer, only a handful. Yeah, Herbie agrees with me that the beard is absolutely retarded. But hey, at least they establish how he shaves, you know? So, and I've gotten used to the voice. I've gotten used to the Thing's voice, but overall, he's pretty good. Ebon Moss-Bachrach kills it. So, one more thing. So, Natasha Lyonne's character, who is kind of meant to be Ben's love interest, which you should have had her as Alicia. All right, they do establish that the Thing is Jewish, which I like. I like that a lot. Like, you could cut her out, you wouldn't change a thing. The fat black lady, you can cut her out and not change a thing, so she's only there for diversity points in the studio. But overall, I actually enjoyed this movie. You know, yeah, it has less action, but, you know, I liked it better than Superman, like, quality-wise. And, you know, I'd love to see some sequels. So, yeah. Is there anything else I'm missing, Herbs? Oh yeah, right, the post-credit scene. So they skip another 4 years, which is a neat detail because Fantastic Four. By the way, this movie takes place 4 years after they're first established. If you want to do sequels, just have all the sequels take place before Doomsday. Either before Doomsday or before this movie. You know, do it for the sake of all the villains. So, of course, Doctor Doom is there. They're going to have Avengers Doomsday, played by Robert Downey Jr., which is still stupid. And, oh my god, this was actually a really good reference, okay? So at the United Nations, there's this little detail that, alright, the leader of Latveria never comes. And of course, we all know it's Doctor Doom. I kind of wish, little nitpick, I kind of wish they did the same thing with Mole Man, alright? If you don't want me to think Mole Man's a good guy so bad. I'm gonna eat popcorn out of these too. If you don't want me to think Mole Man is a good guy so bad, or, you know, maybe you could have had, oh my god, there were so many black leaders in this movie. You could have had a reference to Wakanda. This universe should be your Black Panther reboot, all right? I love Black Panther in the comics. I would love to see Black Panther team up with the Fantastic Four on film, R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman, but I guess we can't have everything. But hey, you know, oh, so you could have had a reference to Wakanda. Better yet, you can have a reference to Atlantis. Honestly, you know, you can reboot the MCU in this universe, and I wouldn't really mind, you know? Like, you can have a comic-accurate Namor here. I mean, hey, if you want diversity, you know, I'm down for an Asian Namor. Speaking of which, oh yeah, I've been wanting to say this. If you were gonna have Norrin Rad, not Silver Bikini, not Shala Ball, alright, I'd be fine if human Norrin Rad's not white, because it's gonna be silver for the rest of his life. As long as that same actor is doing the stunt work and the voice, you know, I'd be fine with it. Give us an Asian Silver Surfer. Oh, hello, Fantastic Four. Galactus is gonna eat your planet, but he will spare your Earth if he eats all the cat and dog. Please, I want an Asian Silver Surfer now. I want an Asian Norrin Rad because of that joke I just made. Please, please, you're all gonna love it too. You're all gonna think my ideas are absolutely awesome. But is there anything else I can, you know? If you want to do Frightful 4, get into a deal with Sony for Sandman, alright? I don't give a fuck. I would not accept anyone else. I'm a nerd. This is how we act. I threw a hissy fit in my video, in my Fox Marvel movie ranking video, that Banshee wasn't Irish. Seriously, who thought of that? Non-Irish Banshee. Fucking retards. So, this is the same popcorn from the theater. The theater chain that makes the best popcorn is Harkins. Alright, AMC is stale, but if I was starving in Africa and I only had this as food, not the worst thing ever. National salsa with popcorn. Remember, kids, always chew with your mouth closed. And by the way, back to the post-credit scene. Yeah, I still don't understand why Robert Downey Jr. was not there, because apparently even the Russos directed that scene. So it could have been... Well, actually, I'd kind of be glad, because the entire point of Doctor Doom as a character is that he's not supposed to show his face. He's supposed to be kept hidden full on. Because his face is all fucked up after an accident. That's Doctor Doom. Alright, that's what makes him such a great villain. Alright. He's also kind of a Kim Jong-un as well. The second post-credit scene, there's a tribute to Jack Kirby. Alright, an interview I first heard 1 or 2 years ago about Jack Kirby saying, "My stories are for everyone." And oh my god. It was such a great tribute. And the Earth 828, that's a reference to the day he was born. However, if you really wanted to pay tribute to Jack Kirby, a little bit of a nitpick, maybe make the sets a lot more Kirby-ish. This bucket is definitely Kirby-ish, I must say. But also, Real Silver Surfer! But actually, there is a post-credit scene where they show a cartoon, where they show all their previous fights. And you can definitely tell they cut out Red Ghost, because he's in the post-credit scene where he's like, "Oh no, it's Red Ghost!" He's the only villain name dropped. And also in the post-credit scene, you see Diablo, you see Puppet Master, you see and no, I'm not talking about the guy from Five Nights at Freddy's. Or girl. It's a girl. Yeah, basically, here's when I was a kid. But what really made me happy... Well, first off, they had Dragon Man. That was what made me happy. But they had a comic-accurate Claw. From, what the fuck is his name? Andy Serkis' character. I met Andy Serkis in real life. Nice guy. Andy Serkis' character from Black Panther. A comic-accurate Claw. Yeah, he's not fully red, and it's animation, so he's probably different in live action, but my god, I was so happy to see that, because that's the closest we'll ever get to a comic-accurate Ulysses Claw in a movie. If they do plan on bringing him back. But, woo! But overall, I actually like the movie. 1 point taking it off for female Silver Surfer, but overall, pretty good, I'm definitely going to watch this movie a bit more. Probably when, the extended cut with Red Ghost comes out, which I'm not saying that's for sure going to happen, but I do think that is going to happen. Take care, folks. Oh, sorry, one more thing. John Malkovich was actually supposed to be in the scrapped 4th Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie. He was going to play the Vulture, which is really good casting, by the way. And now, years later, he's been cut from a Marvel movie that got made. So yeah. Alright, hold on a second. Look at the textures. Look at the textures, look at all the lines. Alrighty. One more update. The first issue from my Fantastic Four comic dub that I've been working on for almost 2 years is almost done. Alright, almost done. Man. And then I have to get back to work on the other 3 dubs I'm doing because a malware issue on my computer deleted all of them. Take care, folks. Also, only one person noticed that I had this bucket. It's kind of depressing.